Okay. In our last class, what we have studied? Leap year program, right? Okay. In today's session, let us learn a few more programs on the for loop. Today we are going to write a program to print the sum of the series. In mathematics, probably you might have studied, right? 1 plus x squared plus x cube plus x raised to 4 up to x raised to n. Sum of the particular series. So here the example is taken for the same series here. 1 plus x squared plus x cube plus up to x raised to n. Since in this notepad I can't write the square, just written, it's not visible. 1 second. Okay. Now 1 plus x squared x cube up to x raised to n. So we want to write a program to calculate the sum of this particular series here. Okay. Now, what are the variables in this one? In this series? X and n. Okay. X and n are the variables in this particular series. Now, we want to solve this using the for loop. So we require an counter variable for the same. And also we want to calculate the sum. We require a variable for the sum as well. Okay. Let us declare those variables first. Int n, x, I, and sum. Initial value of the sum is 0. Okay. Then next we want to do the input operation, that is read the values of n and x. So how you want to read? First x or n and x? Printf, enter the values of x and n. So first x will be taken and then n will be taken. Okay, then scanf percentage d. Next, how many percentage d? 2 percentage d. Percentage d. Then ampersand x ampersand n. Okay, two numbers we will read and store it into the respective variables x and the n. Okay, then now we need to write the code for calculating the sum here. So we know that we are going to make use of the for loop. So let us put the structure here. First, in the for statement, we need to write the 3 substatements. First one is second, third, count updation. Now, initial value will be what here? I equals to 1 and condition I less than or equal to n. Let us pay attention here and try to understand the initial value. Initial value x is not 1 here. It is something different. It is something different. Okay. Now just pay attention to this series here. First is 1. Then we have the x. What is the power of x here? 1. Here power of x is 2. And up to we have x raised to n power. But look at the first term in the series. It is not represented in the form of multiplication of x, isn't it? It is just a constant 1. There is no x, there is no power value. That means, is it something x raised to 0? Yes or no? Yes, x raised to 0 is what? Any number raised to 0 is 1. 1 into 1 is 1. That's how we get the constant term 1 over here. Actually, it is x raised to 0. Since x raised to 0, we get a value 1, which is a constant. So we place 1 here. Okay. Now tell me what we should be the initial value. Earlier you said x is initial value as 1, that is I equals to 1 you said, then I less than or equals to n you said, and then updation is I plus plus. But what I told was this is something wrong here. And what we understood here, this is 1 is actually x raised to 0, right? Now you tell me what is the initial value of I here? It is 0. So we start from 0 up to the nth power. So there are actually how many numbers here? N plus 1, right? There are n plus 1 terms, isn't it here? So we have to repeat it for n plus 1 times. So if you start from 0 and then 1 up to n, it will be n plus 1 times. Okay. Now what we need to do every time? We need to calculate sum of each of the term and add it into our sum variable. Initially sum is 0. Next time, that is the first time when I enter into the for loop, I should get this value. This is nothing but x raised to 0. What mathematical operation we are performing here? X raised to 0, x raised to 1, x raised to 2, x raised to n. What is the mathematical operation? Do you have a notes with you where you have written mathematical functions? Inbuilt mathematical functions? Not brought the notebook?
Power, sir.
Yes, very good. Offline students, what is the function we need to, what is the operation we have to perform here? X raised to 0, x raised to 1, x raised to 2, what type of operation it is? Yes, power, right? We need to perform a power of two numbers, base raised to the that particular term, right? See, x raised to 0 means what? X power to the 0. This x means x raised to 1, x raised to 2. So we need not to calculate manually the power of a given term here. But what we can make use of? We can make use of the inbuilt mathematical function by the name. What is the name of the function? POW, right? POW. In which particular header file that function is present? Math.h. So here the corresponding header file has to be taken care. Hash include math.h. Okay. Now sum will be equals to sum plus power of, okay, for the first time when I enter, it is I value is 0. So x raised to 0 I have to perform. So x comma I. It is not x comma n here, but every time this I will keep on changing, right? Initially x I is 0, then it gets incremented, I becomes 1. Then next time when it gets incremented, I becomes 2. Like that it keeps on incrementing up to I becomes n. So first time, if you try to trace this particular program, how it will work? Initially I is 0, then I less than or equals to n, then calculate this particular power, right? Here power, how it is calculated, we'll just skip this one, we'll just say the some value and then I plus plus. Yes or no? So first time I value is what? 0. Then condition I less than or equal to n, is it true or a false? True. True means sum has to be calculated. Now here sum is equals to sum plus power of x comma I. Consider the values of x and n. Like let's say take a simple example. Let x be equal to 2 and n be equal to say 3. Okay. So the series will become what? 1 plus x square plus x cube. So this sum we need to calculate. Can anyone tell me what should be our final value of sum here? When x is 2 and n is 3? Anyone good at maths? One plus, this is 2 plus 4 plus 8. 6. 2 raised to 3 it is. Not 2 multiplied by 3. 8. What is the final answer? 15. So our sum should be 15 here. Let us try to trace this program with these values. Okay. Now, sum is equals to sum plus power of x comma I. So here, first time, sum is what? 0. 0 plus power of x comma I. So here, power of what? Power of x value is what? 2, comma I value is what? 0. So power of 2 to the raised to 0 is 2 to the 0. It is 1. So this power value will come out to be 1. 0 plus 1 is 1. So our sum will become 1 now. So I will write this sum value here. Sum is 1 for the first time. Okay. Then I will get incremented to what? 1. So next time this is 1 plus plus. Next time I becomes 1. So I less than or equal to n. Is it true or a false? True. Then sum is equals to sum plus power of x comma I. What is the sum value now? 1. 1 plus power of x. X is 2. I is 1. So 2 to the power of 1 is what? 2. 2 plus 1, 3. So this entire sum will now become 3. So let me write the 3 here. Then this is, sorry, here it is 0 plus plus, right? Okay. 1 plus plus. Next time I becomes 2. Condition is true. So what will be the sum value? Sum plus power of x comma I. So here sum value is 3. 3 plus power of 2 comma. What is I value? 2. So 2 raised to 2 is what? 4. 4 plus 3, 7. So this becomes now 7. So my sum is now 7. Next, do the incrementation. That is 2 plus plus. So the 2 will become now 3. Condition is true. Right? Sum. Sum is sum plus, that is 7 plus power of 2 comma 3. So 2 raised to 3 is what? 8. 8 plus 7, 15. So now it is 15. Then do 3 plus plus. I becomes 4. So look at the condition here. 4 less than or equals to 3. Is it true? No. Condition is false. Once the condition becomes false, the calculation will be skipped. This calculation will be skipped. Right? For will come out of the loop statements. And later what we need to do? Just print the sum value here. So the last statement will be printf sum of the given series equals to %d /n then comma sum. Okay. Now let us execute the program and see whether we get the same results or not. GCC 31 is the program number here. / out x value 2, n value 3. Sum of the given series is 15. If you change the x and n value, let's say let the x be 2 and n be this time 4. How much we get? Calculate quickly. 2 to the power of 4 plus 15. What is 2 to the power of 4? Do we get the same value? Yes. So you can put any numbers here, like you can take a x as a 3 and n as a 2, you get 13. This is 1 plus 3 plus 9, that is 13. Understood? Look at the program, how simple it is. Initially read the x and n values, then the for loop. The important things are what? The initial value and the condition. The initial value we started from 0 here instead of 1 because we want to cover this x raised to 0 as well. That is a constant number. Okay. Then in order to calculate the power, I'm just using the inbuilt maths function called as POW. Understood? Write it down quickly. You neatly write this one, okay? Write a C program to calculate sum of series. C program to calculate sum of series 1 plus x plus x square plus x cube plus up to, that is dot dot dot, plus x raised to n, and then completed. Is it visible? Finished? Now, let us take other program here. Let's modify this one. Like now, the series is something like this: 1 plus 1 divided by x, 1 divided by x square, 1 divided by x cube, plus up to 1 divided by x raised to n. Only the reciprocals have been taken for each of the terms in the series. The reciprocals have been taken here. Now, how do we modify the existing code? What is the change we need to do in the existing code here? Yes? 1 by x. More clearly, where you can tell where we need to modify. Sum is equals to sum plus. No, you mean by something like this? Okay, let me write. Let me comment this one. Okay, tell me now. Sum is equals to sum plus float. Okay. 1 by x. but it is not just simply 1 by x, right? There is a power, x raised to. Earlier we were calculating, right, x raised to I here. So here also x raised to I will be there. But thing is that it is 1 divided by x. It is not just x. 1 divided by x, 1 divided by x square. That x square is in the denominator. It is just like this. Earlier, the power we used to calculate, right? The same power we want it to be in the reciprocal. That is 1 divided by that value. Look at how simple it is. Just 1 divided by power of x comma I. But since this is the we're trying to perform a division operation, and definitely there will be a floating point numbers, fractional numbers will be there. But what is the data type of the sum here? Integer. So should we take it as integer or should we change it? We should change it to float. So it should be a float sum. That's it, or any other changes we should do here? In the percentage F. Very good. So here this is percentage D format specifier. But now the variable sum is of what data type? Float. So this should be changed to F here. Okay. Now if we run the program, we will get a fractional numbers. Compile it. Look for any errors. No errors. Run. Take a simple example. 2 and 1. 2 and 1 you will get what? If x value is 2 and n value is 1, what is the sum you get here? Only 1. 1 plus 1 by 2. So total how much? Do we get the same value? 1.5. Okay. Now you can just check it for other values. You get the fractional numbers. So only change what we did here was, now earlier it was 1 plus x square. But here in this series, it is 1 divided by x, 1 divided by x square. Okay. These are something mathematical terms which you need to understand the correspondingly how we are writing the code. Following. Let us move to the next concept here. Nested loops. Understand this particular concept, pay attention. Nested loops. Now, so far we have studied the looping structures like for loop, while loop and do while loop. Okay. Now, nested, earlier before this one, for the if else, there was one more type of a if. What was that? Nested if. What is the meaning of nested if? Yeah, within an if else, one more if else will be there, right? If else, within an another if else, we call it to be a nested if else. In the same way, there are some concept called as nested loops. Meaning is what? One looping structure inside another looping structure. For example, assume if there is a for loop, assume there is a for loop. Inside this for loop, there can be one more for loop. There can be one more for loop. This is an example of nested loops. A looping structure is written or placed inside another looping structure is called as nested loops. It is need not to be that usually what we call, since there are two loops, the outer one we call it to be a outer loop, and the one which is inside we call it as inner loop. Outer loop and inner loop. It's very simple to remember, right? If it is outside, we call it to be a outer loop. If it is inside, we call it to be a inner loop. It is not that always if there is a for, inside it should be for only. It can be anything else. Like we can have a while also, for, and inside the for we can have while, or outside here we can have a while and inside we can have a for as well, or even we can have a do while also. Any looping structure can be placed inside another looping structure. Such concept we call it to be a nested loops. The loop which is outside, we call it to be a outer loop, and the loop which is placed inside, we call it to be a inner loop. It is not only that we can have only two loops. We can have, again, inside this, we can have one more loop as well, like for. Okay, this is also a nested loop. Okay, now let us try to understand only the two loops here, like outer and inner. Only two levels we are going to understand it here. Okay, now you may ask where these particular looping structures will be used. Okay, the concepts, like in the later sections we are going to study some concepts like matrices, adding the two matrices wherein we require an arrays. Okay, there are different types of arrays are there where we will be using these type of loops. Okay, now let us try to make use of a simple program and write a solution for that. Earlier we had written a program for multiplication table. Yes or no? What was the looping structure we had used? I think while loop, right? It can be for loop, right? We had used for loop. Yes, very good. We had used the for loop. Now, that particular program used to write multiplication table of any one number. Suppose if you execute, enter the number 3, the program used to display multiplication table of 3. If you enter 5, it used to display for a 5. Now, assume that we want to print multiplication table for many numbers. Many numbers means, suppose I want to print from, say, 3 up to 10. Okay, so I want to print multiplication table of starting from 3 up to 10. So first time it should print for 3. Next time it should print for 4. Next time it should print for 5 up to the last number. So in such cases, we have to make use of the nested for loops. Okay, let us write a program for that and understand it. Okay, already program is written. I will just delete that program and then we'll rewrite it. Okay, I will just show you the execution here, how it will be. The program number is 33. Let me say, enter two numbers. Two numbers I'm taking. First one is the first number that is stored in the variable m. Second number is stored in a n. So always the first number should be smaller than or equal to n. Suppose if I say 2 and 10, how many tables will be printed? 2 to 10 tables. So let us run the program and see here. Look at here. First, it prints multiplication table of 2 and the corresponding table is printed. And then it gets incremented to the next number. So the next table gets printed. Then fourth table, like that up to the last number, that is 10, corresponding table is printed. So we are going to write a program for this one using nested loops. Understood the program here? Okay. Let's go to the program and write it. Okay. Now the same steps. We need a variables here. We want to print the multiplication table between two numbers. So definitely we require two variables for that. So int m and n. M is the first number, that is starting number, and n is the last number whose table will be printed. Then we need the counter variables here, right? So let us try to make use of only one counter variable as of now, as I. Okay, and then we want to store that every time we want to multiply and store it into a variable like a product. 3 into 1, that 3 has to be stored. 3 into 2, that 6 has to be stored. So on one more variable, I will take a p here. Okay, now printf display the statement, enter two numbers Simultaneously you can write down. Simultaneously you can write it down. Okay. Enter two numbers. Okay. Now here. So m less than or equal to n means at the time of entering the two numbers, ensure that first number is less than or equal to the second number. Okay. Then scanf %d because two numbers we are reading. First one is ampersand m, second number is ampersand n. Two numbers we read. Okay. Then is it written till here? Done. Okay. Now pay attention here. Since we want to make use of a nested loops. Okay. How I will write a nested loops here? Outer loop, I will take it to be a while condition. That is a while loop. Outer loop is a while loop. And the inner loop, I will make use of a for loop here. This way, I'm going to write the code for it. Outer loop, while, and inner loop, for. Okay. Now, outer loop's responsibility is to print the corresponding numbers table. Like first time what it has to print? A table of, suppose if it is 2 to 10, first time what it has to print? 2. Second time 3. Third time 4. Up to 10. So my condition should be what here? 2 less than or equal to 10. Isn't it? So those 2 and 10 are stored into which variable? M and n variable. So the condition will become m less than or equals to n. Understood this condition? Yes? Okay. Now, so first time, okay, assume at the first time outer loop m value is 2. Now what I need to do? Corresponding to that particular 2, I need to calculate multiplication table and then print it. Right? Already we have written a program for printing the multiplication table of individual numbers. So here I need to print a statement saying that printf multiplication table of that number. That number means %d. I will put a slash n, and that number is stored into which variable? M or n? M. It is stored into m. Okay. Then I have to repeat for this for loop. Now here for loop, for every number, multiplication number, what is the counter variable? I. What is the initial value? Now outer loop, I am going to print table of a 2. So table of a 2 I will print, and then 2 into 1 equals to 2 I want to print, right? Up to 2 into 10 equals to 20. Right? Counter variable value, that is initial value, will be what? I is equals to 1. And condition for this one? I is less than or equal to 10. Not n. 10. Then updation is I plus plus. Every time what I need to do? Calculate the product. That is P equal to, whose table I have to print here? M or n? M. M multiplied by I. Very good. M multiplied by I. Then once it is calculated, print it. Printf %d multiplied by %d equals to %d slash n. What is the first %d for? M. Very good. Second one, I. Third one, P. Understood? Yes. So now I printed out the table of a 2. Next time, whose number I have to print? Whose table I have to print? 3. This particular 3, where I am going to increment m variable. Initially m was 2, m stable I printed. Next time m I have to increment. So m will become 3. So after this one, I have to write one statement m plus plus, right? This m plus plus is what? It is nothing but the updation for the while loop. If you remember, every while loop should have an updation, right? For the while, pay attention, for the while, we have a condition and corresponding to this while, updation is here. So every time we take that number and print the multiplication table and then increment. Increment means go to the next number. And the next numbers, print the multiplication table up to we reach the last number. Okay, now let us run the program and check. Okay, so here I will add one more slash n to print it properly, slash n, then multiplication table. Okay, now compile the program. GCC program number is 33. Okay, say 2 to 5. Now, initially m is 2 and n is 5. In the while loop, m less than or equal to n. Condition is true or false? True. True means it will enter. This condition is true now because n, that is 2, less than or equal to 5. Condition is true. It will enter inside the while loop. Okay. Now, it will print. Listen first. Later you can write down. Okay. Now, printf multiplication table of d. That percentage d is m. What is the m value? 2. So what we get? We get here multiplication of table 2 is printed. Okay, then next, there is again a inner for loop here. Inner for loop, I value is 1. I less than or equal to 10. Is this true or false? True means, should it enter into the for loop? Yes. So what it gets calculated? P. What is the P value? M into I. What is M value now? 2. 2 into 1. That is 2 will get stored into P. Okay. So when this printf statement is executed, M is 2, I is 1 and P is 2. That is what we get the first line here. 2 into 1 is equals to 2. Okay. Now next time, now after this statement is executed, where does the control go back to? Updation of what? For or a while? For loop. So I plus plus. Now next time I becomes what? 2. Is 2 less than or equal to 10? True or a false? True. True means here m into I, that is 2 into 2. It gets calculated as 4. So the next time when this printf is printed, we get 2 into 2 equals to 4. Like this, it repeats. The inner for loop will repeat for 10 times. That is when I becomes 10, it prints 2 into 10 is equals to 20. Then I becomes 11. That time, this I less than or equal to 10, that is 11 less than or equal to 10 becomes false. Right? Once this becomes false, it skips the for loop. After skipping the for loop, where does the control go? Outside the for. Outside the for, what is the statement? M plus plus. Now